We are back. Studio 191. We have the Spotlight 101 show with Kevin KMX, and we have a special guest today, ELLIOT, LEVIN, and so excited to have you here. We just legitimized our show.
All right.
We got ELLIOT. That means we're something, right?
Well, when you have an event going on in Philly, and that ELLIOT LEVIN was in it, then you know that it was cool.
It was cool.
Right.
So,
you know it was legit. You know it was legit if it was LEVIN.
Legit if it's LEVIN?
Yes.
I think we need to have T-shirts printed up that says ELLIOT was here, with our logo on the back.
That's a good way to remember to pronounce my name.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there are a lot of Elliots in this world, but yeah.
There is. By the way, there is another ELLIOT LEVIN. He's a keyboardist.
Well, there's ELLIOT LEVIN, a guy in Washington. Right, he's a keyboard player.
He has a lot of videos.
I know. I don't think he appreciates my music too much, but
really,
one time somebody called me for a gig. I think that he it was supposed to be for him.
Really,
and then he got a little upset about that. But
really, why would he get upset with?
I guess he thought I was trying to steal his gigs, but I had no idea who the people were, who he was.
Yeah.
But
totally different crowd. I'll
but
tell you.
There's actually another ELLIOT LEVIN who plays flute, and he's exactly my age.
No way.
Does he have an E at the end?
No.
Okay.
This guy, the guy in Washington does, but this guy spells his name and is the same age and everything, but he lives in California now. But he also plays flute, which is a very strange coincidence.
That's weird. Does it look like you?
Not really, no. But I met him one time at a gig. We actually were playing, and he asked me to come outside and smoke a joint. And we went outside, and he said, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "No." He said, "My name is ELLIOT LEVIN." I said, "Oh, wow." But I had heard about him through some other people.
But he knew you were.
He did. We had some mutual friends. That's how we knew about each other. But I had never met him before. But
2 degrees of separation in Philly.
Right, unlike that other Becca Martin, for one, the one that you had that intense rivalry with. There, they at least had something friendly.
Yeah, that was nice. I met him one time. And
that was
Philly. Very nice guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you guys, so the two ELLIOT LEVINs hung out with each other
for a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's another place. What we need to do if you're going out to California. And
I have actually his son. I found out is a fairly well-known musician in the Bay Area. He's a keyboard player.
Oh, really?
I can't think of his first name, but
he's not an ELLIOT.
No, I think his name is Grant or something. But anyway, he's a pretty well-known guy. We talked on the phone.
Oh, that's crazy.
And we're trying to get together to play some day.
You're going out to California in 2 weeks?
Yeah, the last 2 weeks of August. Yeah.
All right. Well, then we need to see if you find out. We're trying to stalk
try to
you.
Contact him. Yeah.
We're trying to stalk ELLIOT. We want to stalk him for the next month or two.
Right.
Well, if we were to stalk you, it would probably take a lot of effort because they tell me, sax is what you do.
Yep, sax and flute.
Sax and flute and poetry, that's what you do. So mostly you can be found around Philadelphia, either taking the stage by yourself or with another act like the West Philadelphia Orchestra. Yep. You can mostly be found around Philadelphia, but like you said, a lot of times you'll travel overseas once or twice a year.
That's right, yeah, as much
right. Right, you'll go, you'll travel to other parts of the country. You'll do some touring here and there because basically the horn is what you do. Is that?
Yeah, no. As a performing artist, you have to keep traveling because there's only so many venues in every city, and you got to keep being in people's faces and their ears and their heads. And
right. Yeah. So
there's so much stuff online.
Yeah.
That sure, people can follow you online, but.
It's not the same.
But because there's so much stuff, it's kind of just all a blur. But when they see you live and they experience you live, then it's like a really personal connection.
Yeah, so that's the key to stalking you, would be...
And it's more and more important, I think, these days to have a personal connection because, a lot of people are just living in virtual realities. We got to...
It's living in...
realities.
Yeah.
Realities.
I guess jazz music... Jazz music isn't something you can just make on your computer.
I don't think so, no. Yeah, well, any good music, it's very important to experience the vibrations in person because music is vibration. And, you feel it a little bit through a computer or through a speaker, of course, but it's a different experience than experiencing it live,
Right, and so a lot of times, just a lot of gigs that you play, like I said, a lot of times solo, sometimes with other people.
I don't do too much solo. A lot of times, like duos and trios. Like tonight, I'm playing a trio at Heritage. I usually do that once or twice a month.
So these people you've played with before?
Many times, yeah.
Okay,
years.
Give them a shout out. Who are you playing with tonight?
Well, tonight there's a percussionist named Tom Lowry who I've been working with quite a bit over the past few years.
Nice.
But I've known him for many years. He's from Germantown. And we play in another band called the Sonic Liberation, with this drummer Kevin Deal. And it's actually a mixture of African percussion, Afro-Cuban percussion, and free jazz kind of thing. And we just recorded an album with Oliver Lake, great sax player from New York. And
Where'd you record?
we recorded right near here, actually. You know the Aaron Levinson, the Robodope Studios? It's somewhere, it's in this neighborhood. It's close by here.
Okay.
It's like in...
Heard the name Robodope, but I
Yeah,
can't put a...
they had like DJ Logic, and they did an album with Pat Martino and Christian McBride, and Amir was playing
Martino.
Amir from The Roots was on that album. It's a Philly-based label, and
Cool.
they have a little studio close near here. Like I said, it's in Lower Merion or Ardmore, somewhere close by.
Cool. Yeah, so a lot of times, so you'll be playing with them a lot. You'll be doing your own thing. What are some of the other acts that you take the stage with?
Well, the West Philly Orchestra has been probably the most prolific of all the working bands that I play with these days.
Could you please tell us more about the West Philly Orchestra while we're on it? But I'll let you know.
Well, we're started by this drummer, Greg Mervine, who was a very, very talented drummer, percussionist, and he was really into Balkan music and Eastern European folk music. And I was a little bit familiar. I was familiar with some klezmer and Sephardic music and some Arabic music, and it's related to that stuff, but it's a little more, well, it's more from the Balkan region, like, the area around Yugoslavia. What used to be called Yugoslavia is now,
My roots.
Yeah, it's broken into, like Croatia, Serbia.
Bosnia, Herzegovina.
Exactly, that area of the world. And so anyway, we started rehearsing and practicing some of that music, and a lot of really talented musicians started coming through and, sitting in on the rehearsals. And before I knew it, we started getting gigs. It was amazing,
Yeah, the Dead Milkmen are in it.
Tritone was our first kind of home. Remember Tritone on South Street? That was we used to have a regular gig there, and then we moved to the Underground Arts, and now we're at Frankie Bradley's every Tuesday. So that's
Frankie Bradley's where?
That's at 13th and Chancellor. It used to be called Sisters. It was a lesbian club, and now the guy from Mark B, the guy that had Silk City, he took it over, and now so he's trying to make it a music venue again, a performing venue.
Frankie Bradley's, huh?
Yeah, Frankie Bradley every Tuesday night from 9 to 12.
Every Tuesday, okay, put the wrap it
That's
up.
my one steady gig in Philly these days, so it's kind of cool.
So your one steady gig is Tuesdays?
Every Tuesday with the
Every
West Philly
Tuesday,
Orchestra.
West Philly Orchestra at 13th and Chancellor.
Yep.
But we will be there.
Yeah, come in anytime.
This Thursday.
Yeah. Tuesday, yep.
Tuesday.
9 to 12.
Tuesday, from 9 to 12.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
And I've been playing with a million bands around Philly for many, many years. I had a band called Ough, a band called Interplay, Ilchar. Actually, we have vinyl of some of those bands, and there's a label now. This guy, do you know Brewery Town Beats?
No.
On 27th and Girard?
Yeah.
They have there's a record store there, and they're really into selling 70s jazz from Philly, like vinyl.
Cool.
And they've been actually selling my records that I couldn't give away 30 years ago are now selling for like $100 a piece.
Oh my
Which is
gosh,
kind of amazing.
I want one. Wow, that's awesome.
And so this guy has this record store there, Max, and he is trying to really promote Philly music, rock and jazz, all kinds of music from the 70s specifically.
And this is 27th and
27th and Girard, yeah.
Okay.
And he wants to actually re-release some of that stuff.
That'd be awesome.
And maybe even record some new things.
We got to go to that store.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out.
Check them out.
Yeah, if you have old vinyl that you're interested in selling,
I've got a lot.
He's very interested in buying it, and if you're interested in buying, he's got lots and lots of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. That's going to be my first assignment this week. I'm going to get out there and check them out. 27.
He's very interested in the Philly scene in the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the independent rock and punk and jazz.
Now, and you've seen a lot of that scene yourself.
Yeah, I grew up. That's what I grew up playing, and that's was me.
You told me you remember when like Dobbs opened, or
definitely. Oh yeah, we used to play Dobbs all the time.
before it was legendary.
Or
That's right.
simply JC.
It was JC Dobbs, right?
George Thorogood was playing there a lot.
Everybody was playing it.
Yeah.
Man, I was on stage there one time we were playing, and Courtney Love got on stage with us. She was very drunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And she was playing
Really?
Lollapalooza the next day. So she just came and got up on stage and grabbed the mic, so we just accompanied her for
Oh, that's awesome.
about an hour.
Nice.
About an hour.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. She
Whoa.
was like...
She would do that with Faith No More back in the day. So I guess she must have thought you guys being very Faith No More-esque.
Well, we were doing like spoken word. There was a poet. Actually, we were performing at Lollapalooza too. There was a poet named Frank Messina that I used to work with, and he's in New York. And he had a band called Spoken Motion.
Okay.
And we were invited to play at Lollapalooza, and then they had it was a pre-party, the party the night before they had the gig, and so all the bands came and hung out at Dobbs. This was before
great.
it was legendary. We were making it legendary.
Did they write on the walls and all everything?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, it was all that kind of stuff. But it was.
Yeah, so I've seen your poetry reading in action, just like from videos on there. So I was very energetic with that. And I'm almost wondering if you ever had the urge to run up, if you're seeing someone doing an instrumental set, just ever had this urge to run up, just take a microphone and start, just coming in with your poetry over there, make them do it.
I've done that with bands, usually with people that were friends or I was invited to.
But no, you're doing. You've never just walked up while strangers playing.
I think I probably have done that over the years.
You probably have done that. Okay.
Yeah, I've done some pretty spontaneous performances like that. Yeah.
That'd be great. And I remember flashback. You probably don't want to include this on the video, but I remember when me and some other people were doing at Connie's Rick Rack. We were just playing some an improvised set. It was like a year or two ago, and it was this train wreck because none of us knew what we were doing. But it would have been so awesome if he came up on stage and start doing his poetry while we were playing. That would have saved that. Okay, back to this show.
I think that was. I think that will save just about anything.
Yeah.
Especially when you start playing your phone number.
No one talks over the phone number. But yeah, so.
Well, like with the West Philly Orchestra thing, we have a singer, Petya, who is a great vocalist, and but sometimes I don't think was she there that night at the park? Was she in Clark? No, I think she had something else to do.
Who's the guy with the hat?
He was doing vocals also?
Yeah.
That's Dave Fishkin. Yeah.
What's his story?
He's from Philly too. He's kind of a similar scene, playing on the progressive rock and jazz scene around Philly. I met him actually playing with Odine Pope in the saxophone choir.
Really?
But he really got into this music too, and he's learned some of the songs, and he's actually in the languages, like the original languages of, like Bulgarian, Serbian, Romanian. There's different. We do a variety of different stuff. It all blends together. I'm not as knowledgeable in the different styles as some of the other guys, but
you're playing different styles of music. You're playing for styles that come from those regions.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But I just put my stuff in there instead of trying to learn that stuff, which the other guys are much better at. Yeah. I just do my stuff over the style of what we're doing. So I just do my own poetry, and the song we did on that video that you have is actually composed by Sun Ra, who is of course the great composer, pianist that lived in Philadelphia for many years. He was like, the Sun Ra Orchestra is still touring.
Oh well, let's cut to that clip right now, so we can refer back to it. It's just Clark Park Fest. This was July.
It was just a couple weeks ago.
It was a couple weeks ago, in 2017. Clark Park Fest. Philly Orchestra hit it. I'm gonna cut, and I want to hit this other camera started real quick.